This episode of the Damage Guild podcast is sponsored by listeners like you. Join the guild at patreon.com/damageguild to receive exclusive perks, member rewards, and bonus content.
Previously on the Damage Guild podcast.
You're thrown into separate cells. Multiple days pass. The day has arrived for your trial. They drag you into a fancy courtroom.
Like what you've done with the place.
Someone is drawing a chalk symbol on the ground. They cuff your legs, and you are now trapped in this magic symbol. They also bring up Tokas and Shabba, and the judge walks in. You do recognize one other face, Lord Grunwald. State your name.
Azlo Tendertoe.
You are on trial for the murder of Lady Grunwald and the attempted murder of Felmandar.
Felmandar cast a spell to cause the dagger to strike Lady Grunwald.
Every time you say something, the symbol on the ground glows. I have detected no falsehoods in his speech. Very well, you will be issued severe fines, but we find you not guilty of the other crimes and will dismiss you from this court.
Maybe we need to get back as soon as possible so that we're more protected.
Agreed. Let's head back to Ilthrod.
So, determined to keep both the crown and yourselves as safe from the cult as possible, you begin making plans to return to Nenept and the relative safety of the Sapphire Saber.
So guys, let's make some plans.
Let's do it.
Should we say, hi to your parents before we make said plans, or before we go?
I would like to make some plans to say hi to my parents.
Okay. Let's have a meeting to make those plans so that we can then meet with you. Let's have a meeting about the meeting with your parents.
Can we schedule that meeting?
Yes.
I'd like to schedule the meeting to make plans to see my parents.
All four of us take out our pocket calendars, our scheduling handbooks, and we stand in a circle to schedule a meeting to talk about the meeting with Azlo's parents.
Yeah, I've got a PDA personally.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, wait. Yeah, that date doesn't work for me. I've got dinner.
Ooh, yeah, I've got a dentist appointment.
Yeah.
I have a PBA. His name's Stripey. It's a personal bestial assistant. He keeps track of my calendar.
So, you track down your parents?
Yeah, guys, now that we're here in town, and man, it's been a while since I've seen my parents, and I'd really like to see them again, especially now that my name is cleared and I'm a free man. I think I'd really like to do that before we leave. I know we're trying to get back to our hometown, sort of in a hurry, but if we could make a little bit of time for this, that would mean a lot to me.
Absolutely not. There's no time for that, Azlo. We need to go back right now. Your parents could be members of the cult, and we'd never know it.
Oh, man. Okay, fine.
Of course I can see your parents, Azlo.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
We'd love to meet them. Actually, could we meet them over some dinner? I'm kind of hungry.
Well, we just got back from Burger Fling, so I don't know what you're complaining about.
Tokas can always eat.
Yeah, I could eat some more.
Fair enough.
As long as there's no seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that is my only stipulation.
So I think I would try to go back to our old neighborhood, see if they're still living at the same place they were.
They're in Felmandar's traveling show.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, for some reason I had it in my head that they lived in this town, but yeah, so...
Are they staying at the same hotel that Nalia is staying at?
That's a good question.
No, but you can ask around and you'll find where they are pretty easily, asking other performers and things.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd like to do that.
So you track down your parents, finding them enjoying a meal at the Watery Pint.
Sounds like a quality place.
Yeah, you got to drink 2 for every one that you normally would around here.
When they notice you walk in, your mother, Millie, jumps out of her seat and runs towards you, arms spread wide. Your father, Milo, leans back and smiles for a moment before standing up and following.
Mom, Dad, it's so good to see you. And I give them big hugs.
Oh, my sweet little Azlo. Words can't describe how glad I am to see you safe and healthy. Not just that, but free.
That's right. Yeah, I'm a free halfling. Feels good.
I give Tokas and Stripey hugs just so they don't feel left out.
So Milo nods in approval and gives you a hearty pat on the back. Indeed, things were a bit hairy for a while up there on stage. We would have come to see your trial, but no one would tell us when it was.
And he wasn't talking about Azlo's feet.
That's right. Yeah, I had no control over what happened to me while I was locked up in that cell. I just had to rot in there for a little while.
He looks you up and down and says, well, it doesn't seem like it was too bad on your health.
No, I'm doing all right. I'm a little emaciated, more than I was before, but, otherwise I'm fine.
Lost a few much-needed LBs.
Yep. I've been meaning to go on a diet anyway.
Your mother didn't want me to say anything about it, but...
We always said you were a little on the...
Well, Tokas has been giving you a stick about it.
That's true.
Yeah, I've been telling him he needs to lose some weight for a while. For combat purposes. We're adventurers, after all.
Now, to be fair, when a halfling loses weight, like 1 pound is probably a big deal. I lost 1 pound. Wow, you look great.
Yeah, right.
So... Milo looks up at your two companions and says, so I see you've made some new friends, and trustworthy ones as well, I can tell. I've always been an excellent judge of character.
That you have.
Allow us to introduce ourselves, and he's about to say something more, but then he pauses for a moment and notices that Tokas isn't understanding anything that he's saying.
Yeah.
So then he just turns more directly to Shabba. Name's Milo Tendertoe. He gestures to his wife. Millie here and I are those that brought this young fellow into the world and raised him from the time he was smaller than an underfed rabbit, up until he got dragged off stage and thrown in prison trying to make his fortune. I thank you for watching over him since then.
So you're the ones responsible for this rapscallion. Ha! Pleased to meet you. I'm Shabba.
He reaches up and gives you a nice, firm handshake.
All right.
And you can call me Tokas.
Well, you still can't understand them.
Right.
And neither can they understand you.
Yeah, but I saw Shabba shaking his hand. I assume we're exchanging names. It's a pretty normal cultural thing to observe.
That's true.
Yeah, this is Tokas. He doesn't understand, but he's still great. I say in Merengian. I say he's a little bit eccentric, a little bit, a little bit, just slightly, but he's a good guy, solid guy.
Shabba, I can see your hand gestures.
I was telling him how we run around in circles together all the time because of how great you are.
Oh,
you drive us crazy in the best way.
I'm so glad that you shared that.
All right, so Milo gives you a handshake as well, Tokas. Then Millie goes over and gives both of you hugs.
Sweet Mama Tendertoe.
Yeah, hugs are a universal language.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you, it's been quite a job keeping this one out of trouble, but we're doing our best here for your son.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, Dad, I can't believe what happened. It was so heartbreaking to be at the center of that tragedy almost a year ago, but it's true what I told them at my trial is I was innocent as far as the act goes, and it really was Felmandar that caused me to throw the dagger in a way that hurt her.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it was Lady Gronwald's fault for volunteering in the first place, am I right? What, too soon?
Everybody just kind of looks at the floor awkwardly.
Well, we always trusted in your abilities. We didn't think that you'd do something quite that dangerous unless you were truly up to it. Although, just the same, after you got arrested, your mother and I got kicked out of Professor Pellegrump's Circus Spectacular.
Oh, you did?
Yes, they thought we were too risky to have around, being parents of a fugitive and all.
Wow.
That's how we ended up here with Felmandar's troupe.
Okay.
How did Felmandar pitch you on the idea? I've stolen Azlo's lady love, and now I'll steal his parents too?
We were in desperate need of work, and he was the only one who was willing to take us in. He gave us an offer of employment, and seemed like the pay was good, the work was good. It's what we were used to doing.
Desperate times, I suppose. Well, you'll be pleased to know now that your son is quite wealthy, and he would like to volunteer to support you for the rest of your lives. Based on the riches that we've amassed in our adventuring lives.
Well, Shabba, I don't know. How do you define wealthy, really, when you think about it? Isn't it all relative?
Millie looks over and says, "Oh, no, come on. Now you don't need to worry about supporting us. Actually, thanks in part to Felmandar and how much he'd paid us over this last year, and how frugal your father and I have been, of course, we've managed to save up quite the little nest egg. We were actually thinking of retiring in just a few more years."
Oh, great.
Wow. Good for you guys.
That's excellent news.
Yes, I mean, this whole traveling circus performing thing it's taken quite the toll on our bodies, so it's about time for us to think about settling down.
Yeah, maybe you could find a little place in the Merengian countryside, fight off dangerous beasts and monsters all the time. You know, it'd be a nice little retirement.
Hey, there's always the Isles of the Dawn to consider.
There you go.
That's a nice retirement spot.
Oh, there's no way we could afford passage there. It's on the other side of the world.
Yeah, but you'd be closer to me. I could come visit.
It's on the opposite side of Ilthrod, so I'm not sure that they would be closer over there.
Closer by land travel. We'll say that much.
So we'll probably just find some nice halfling community somewhere, settle down.
Awesome. We know of a couple good ones, right? Solchea, for example.
That's true. Also in Ilthrod.
Yeah, just down the road a piece, as it happens.
No, Solchea is in Merengar.
Yeah, in Merengar.
What's the name of it?
That's the one where we fought the trolls and left the dragon to be fought by the king.
So you're sending his parents up to where there's likely still a dragon at large?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be fine.
There's a little halfling town in, no pun intended there. Where was that back home?
In Asherfeld?
Asherfeld.
Yes.
It's the country.
Where the crazy lady with the little shop, and everybody was like, oh, you talked to her, remember? And she had us fight the giant spiders with the spider eater.
And I got paralyzed.
And you got paralyzed.
Actually, that was in Nardek.
Nardek, okay.
Just before Asherfeld.
But yeah, we've gone through a couple of halfling towns. That might be nice.
Town of Underfoot in Nardek.
Underfoot.
Oh, okay. Underfoot, okay. Oh yeah, hold on. I rummaged through my pack and I'm like, here, it's a little crumpled, but here's the brochure. I saved one for you.
Shabba likes to take brochures from every town we visit.
Well, I mean, I gotta have souvenirs, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you've got to have souvenirs.
Exactly. It's a lovely little town. Crazy lady lives on the outskirts, like any good town.
Well, I don't know if we've saved up enough to make our way over to Ilthrod, and besides, we don't know the language. And as we're getting older, it's getting harder and harder to travel. That's what I was saying before. That's the whole reason we're thinking to settle down. So, somewhere nearby, Solchea might be nice. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, once the king kills the dragon, it'll be fine.
Yeah, just make sure to bring a few extra, cows and sheep with you.
Right. Make sure you have plenty of livestock, so the dragon eats them instead of you. Then you'll be fine.
I was thinking of maybe starting a small garden or something, but...
Oh, dragons don't eat gardens. It's perfect.
Your father then says, so what are you planning to do now? Are you thinking you'll go after Felmandar?
Well, sadly, as you must have seen or heard from backstage, Felmandar slipped away, and no one has seen him yet. They're out looking for him, and as much as I would like to go tracking him down, I don't think that's going to be an option. For one, we don't even know where to begin looking. He could be halfway across Merengar at this point. He could be on the other side of the world. Yeah, the trail's sort of gone cold. I mean, Felmandar possesses the skills of telepathy. He telepathed a long way, and we have no idea where he is. Yeah.
Teleportation?
Oh, yeah. That must be.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah, it's just a Merengian pronunciation. Sorry. I'm new to the language. I'm still learning.
So, yeah, it's a language barrier thing.
Yeah.
Tokas perks up from his face full of plain, whatever he ordered at the restaurant. when you guys mentioned Felmandar.
Yeah, exactly. We got Felmandar.
Yeah, so Tokas, we were just talking about the difficulties in pursuing Felmandar, even if we wanted to, because we don't know where he might have gone off to.
Yeah.
So they were just asking us what our plans are for the future.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it to go after him at this point.
I translate everything that Tokas is saying to them.
Yeah, Milo nods as you're explaining. It's probably for the best. At least, best for you. Leave the past in the past, and let the authorities take care of Felmandar. He won't be showing his face around here again anytime soon.
Yeah.
Well, one should hope not. If he does happen to show up and you do see him, be sure to slay him for us, though, okay?
Yeah. If you could kindly just stick a sword in his gut, that'd be great.
Yeah. Just gut him like a fish.
For your old son.
And that would help their retirement. This is a Sean thought, but they could collect the reward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Totes.
Yeah. Or, turn him into the authorities. But, guys, the reason that we're not really going to go after him is Because if we did catch him, I wouldn't be able to say, Felmandar! Every time I encounter some problem that I want to blame on someone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we couldn't blame him from beyond the grave.
I would have no scapegoat to use.
Yeah.
And I just can't imagine a life like that.
Me neither. I've gotten so used to it.
Comes back as a ghost.
Right.
Oh, yeah, if he's actually like a lich and he just, comes back.
He just haunts us. Yeah, we have to have some mortal being upon whom to blame all of life's problems. I mean...
And the world of Grisanth itself needs a scary villain like Felmandar roaming,
right?
The countryside. You never know when he might...
Exactly, like the Chupacabra or the Wendigo or whatever. Like, he's got to be one of those legendary evil creatures that's just out there, He's got to be out there. If he's not out there, then why is life worth living? You know what I mean?
It's about the balance of the force when you think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to have the good and the evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is actually part of what's going to build the legend that is Felmandar, that he's not allowed to set foot in Marengar and that he's on the run.
And more importantly, it will build the legend of Azlo. When people talk about, sing songs about my deeds. Actually, I just wrote a song the other day about all my deeds, so they won't have to write it. I'll just tell it to them so that they can sing it about me. So it works out, really.
There you go. Just bring sheet music to every tavern we go to and just give it to the bard who's performing there.
Here, play this.
Right.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you two are doing so well.
And likewise. Glad to see you up and about and in good spirits.
I've thought about you both often over the last year and missed you dearly.
Yeah, we're really sorry that we indirectly affected your livelihood in a negative way, but hopefully the troupe can still move on. We were just talking to Dalia about that, hoping that you can continue touring in some form or fashion. Maybe now without Felmandar, you'll be able to have a more even split of the profits, and who knows, maybe you'll do just as well. We hope so, at least.
Or better.
I'm sure we won't attract nearly the crowd we used to, but we should be able to manage all right.
You could always pull a weekend at Bernie's sort of situation and make a stuffed doll of Felmandar and pretend like he's alive and have somebody pulling the strings from off stage. Just a suggestion.
He's going across a tightrope.
It's me, Felmandar.
Flappy arms. Juggling daggers.
I am the great Felmandar. The daggers just randomly fly into the audience.
Raining down on the audience.
The great Felmandar.
It's me, Felmandar.
Welcome to my show, everybody.
I just flew in from Ilthron, and boy, my arms are tired. Man, this show has gotten weird.
He's now like a stand-up comedian. Oh, boy. Whew.
Anyway, listen, love you guys. It's good to see you, but I'm still an international man of mystery, so we've got stuff to do.
That's right. You gotta get on that old dusty trail.
So I take it you won't be staying long?
No, I'm afraid not. We have to keep moving on. There's things my friends and I have to accomplish. My employees and I have to accomplish, I should say, that are of the utmost importance. But someday, I hope to. Maybe I'll return home and then see you both again.
You ask them if they still own that house in your old neighborhood.
Oh yeah, do you still own that house in our old neighborhood?
No, we sold it a long time ago. We've been on the move for 20, 30, 40 years now. How long has it been?
Yeah, it's been a while, I suppose.
Ever since you kicked Azlo out at the age of 18 because you're an excellent judge of character, right? Well, you should be sure to send a postcard once you do find a place to settle down.
Yes, well, we'll try to keep in touch, assuming we can find some way to contact you.
Yeah, that's right. I give them I can give them the address of the Sapphire Sabers, right?
Totes.
It's not like that's classified information or anything.
They probably get tons of mail and then they distribute it out to the various extra-dimensional rooms. And remember, we've received packages there in our extra-dimensional space.
That's right. And I would give them the address to my actual house, but considering that's been compromised,
Yeah.
I would hate for like that letter to be intercepted, and then the cult, uses my parents as hostages or something.
Right.
Here, let me write down my my current living address, and you can send me a postcard when you've found a place to live.
We'll do that.
Man, what's up with my drink? It's really watery. What was the name of this place again? It was in Merengian, so I couldn't...
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about that.
It's not important. That's terrible. You should ask for a refund, or you should ask for a new one.
Yeah, I should definitely send this back. This is not what I ordered.
Yeah, Shabba and I are both drinking waters.
It's a shame that you have to leave us so soon, but it was nice seeing you and catching up a little bit. Your mother and I always knew you were destined for great things, and it seems that the world is still in need of Aslodius the Great.
Azlo smiles and says, "Thanks, guys."
You got that right.
Yes, I am awesome. Thank you. He says, "Thanks, guys." It's and he looks a little bashful. I'm glad to have made you guys proud, and I hope I get to see you guys again soon. I don't want to leave, but I'm afraid we must.
And this is farewell.
It's not farewell. It's see you soon.
Let's not beleaguer the point and not let this drag on any longer than it needs to. Your mother's already about to break down in tears, as you can see.
Very well. Azlo immediately turns around and leaves. No, he sniffles back a tear himself and says, "Very well. Until we meet again."
We won't even worry about dinner. It's on you.
Yeah, thanks for picking up the tab. See you, Mom.
Bye. Gotta run. Adventuring stuff.
Your mother gives you one last hug, and then you bid farewell and leave the tavern.
Yes, indeed. We pick up an extra just barrel of ale on the way out. Love you
Just
guys.
watered down ale. Yeah, you signal to the waiter. Put this on the tab. Just so you were just a cask in each arm.
So, that's one task done.
That's right. Now we write a letter to Murney and stick it in the satchel and say, "Murney, we need your powers of long-distance communication. We need to reach a man named Tafe Quatai, not a man, a fish man, a Triton.
Triton.
At the Sapphire Saber in Nenept. We need to reach him as soon as possible. If you could please deliver him a message saying, 'Hello, this is the AAA team. We're in Marin. We're in our secret place that we talked about being in a couple of weeks/months ago. I don't know how long it's been. And we're here, and the you-know-who that shall not be named has found us. We don't believe that we're safe anymore. How are things going with you? Should we come home immediately, or should we come home less quickly than that?'"
How's your spire doing, by the way?
How is the spire?
Spire?
Oh, Murney's spire. Oh, by the way, Murney, how's the spire? How's the green spire? We love you and we miss you very much. Goodbye. And let us know what Tafe says if you talk to him. Bye.
And we hope you're watering our cactuses
Oh,
regularly.
PSS. Please make sure that our plants are still alive.
Yes.
And you sign it, Tokas.
Love Tokas.
He had no part in that, even though Murney is his former master.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you write a letter to Murney, ask him to get in contact with Tafe Quatai. In the meantime, you are making your preparations to set out, organizing your things, trying to regain your strength after spending all that time in the jail.
Yeah, we're practicing our eating.
Yep.
So you're practicing your skills, your spells, your combat abilities, preparing for the journey wherever it may lead you. And you advance to level 8.
Hey! All right!
Sweet.
Level 8? I didn't think we'd make it this far.
I didn't think there were any numbers higher than 7, honestly.
I didn't think we'd make it to level 3, let alone level 8. Congratulations, everyone.
That's awesome.
Guys, we're like really cool and powerful now.
Yeah, great work.
Yeah, I feel like even more awesome than I was before.
I feel slightly more awesome than I was before, although I felt pretty awesome before, so it's a tall order.
And as part of that training, I think I'd like to spend a little bit of extra time with Tokas when Shabba's not listening and kind of say, "So this whole like dark evil magic thing that you do, could you like help me learn a little bit of that? Like I just want to kind of dip my toes into the whole evil sorcerer kind of thing."
You want to practice the dark side?
The dark arts, yeah. I mean, just a little bit. Like, I don't want to be completely evil. I just want to be slightly evil.
I mean, we are about to go up against the cult, so it might be good if we all use their magic against them.
Exactly. Yeah, we're fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get you in touch with the dark spirits that I actually know, if I knew any. I don't actually know any of them by name.
Here's a number of my best demon. I'll tell him you're
interested.
Tell him I sent you.
Well, let's see. It was Ezric that helped me learn how to use the darkness I have. I guess Tokas has been practicing like dark magic long enough that maybe he could actually teach Azlo.
Yeah, totally.
Just have him sleep with his head on your chest right where the crystal pierced it to try to get some of that curse onto him. And
yeah.
Wait a minute. That's a perfect idea. Azlo, what if we just had you train while you're holding the crystal, like as a conduit?
I like that.
I'll bet you, knowing Tokas, he probably has a vial of chest sweat from where the crystal is embedded or was embedded, and it's like infused with dark magic, so you can mix it into things.
Yeah, it's just Tokas juice.
So just drink that.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, we totally gotta train with the evil crystal now. Maybe get it charged up.
Yeah, I just kind of think like some cross collaboration in our party would benefit the company.
Well, as long as you understand the ramifications. I mean, you can't really come back from learning this sort of magic. It's kind of always with you. And then there's the voices. Oh, did you hear that? You sure you want to do this?
Is it like your soul is kind of cursed for eternity?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm willing to go there if that's the case. So,
yeah, I think between the crystal and what little dark magic I do know, yeah, well, I'll teach you some stuff, Azlo. I'll teach you.
All right, awesome.
You can learn from my ways. We will be evil together.
Thanks, old buddy, old pal.
Well, you know what they say, fight evil with evil.
So true. That's what my grandpappy used to say.
They do say that. I've heard that. Oh, wait, I'm not there.
Yeah, what are you up to, Jay? What is Shabba up to?
I'm playing Thumb War with Stripey while you guys talk.
Who has no thumb?
That's your training?
Yep.
That's why Shabba likes it. It's the only game he can win against Stripey, because he has no thumbs.
Right. It's very easy to win. I've maxed out all my levels and my other types of training. You can only split bullseye arrows with other bullseye arrows so many times before you just get too good. You know what I mean?
Did we remember to pick up that new armor? We did, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. So maybe you're also practicing with your new armor on?
Yeah. I'm actually eavesdropping on your guys' conversation. You have no idea. You look up and I'm hanging from the rafters above you in the shadows.
Hey, guys.
Hi. I was just hiding for practice.
Shabba, there's nothing wrong with me teaching Azlo some dark magic. You can just lay off. You're so overprotective.
Yeah, calm down, Shabba.
Yeah, you're right. I really have a problem with that. I'm furious.
Well, Shabba's got his own dark magic with his armor, so...
That's true.
I am one with the darkness now, guys.
Do you actually feel like it's affecting you as you wear it?
I'm wrapped in the skin of a creature forged by dark magics. I mean, how could it not be?
Shabba, you're starting to scare us.
Hey, you know, what goes around comes around, right?
I don't know if I like this new side of you.
I've been ill at ease about your dark magic side for as long as you've had it, so welcome to the club.
Yeah, but it's become an integral part of Tokas. Like, this is heresy. We're turning into a group of cultists ourselves as we embrace this dark magic. Is it worth it?
Not really. It's more like we've come to grips with the fact that there's a little bit of darkness in everybody. And we're sort of learning to embrace / harness / not let it get completely out of hand.
I don't know. This feels pretty out of hand. We somehow got to get Stripey some dark magic powers, too.
Yeah, you're right.
Just, like, dip his paws in pure evil.
Yeah, I rip off a small piece of the drake scales from my armor, and I say, Stripey, eat this. And then chase it with Tokas's chest sweat vial. And the dark magic will be infused into your being.
I mean, I'm sure if we, like, had him swallow the crystal or something would probably happen.
Swallow the crystal.
Well, he would choke, for one.
Yeah.
And then it would drain his life force.
Right. And then you would be zombie Stripes.
Dude, zombie Stripey. That's exciting.
Dude, That would be powerful. Let's do it.
Azlo's already shoving the stone in his mouth when you turn around.
I will say that crystal is still one of our most powerful items, and we haven't recharged it in like 70 episodes. Or it's been chargeless.
Well, doesn't recharging it require like stealing people's souls?
Yeah, we're looking for a way to ethically charge it, right? And we have not yet found that way.
That's right. Ethically charged death crystals.
Azlo, I know there's one soul out there that you would actually be okay with us stealing some energy from.
Yeah, but that soul does not happen to be at our disposal at the moment.
You know who I'm referring to.
Stripey?
Dude, what if we brought it into the dragon's cave and just, in like a string, and just chucked it down into the water and just left it there, and then after a while we just pulled it back up, and it could suck the dragon's life energy.
It doesn't seem too dangerous at all.
It just turns into a zombie dragon.
Draculich.
Yeah.
Did we actually want to check in on that town on our way out?
I mean, we're going to be passing by that way. I don't see why not.
It depends on whether you sail or teleport.
Right.
Well, don't we want word from Tafe through Murney before we make a decision?
Yes. So, with regard to that, now that it's come up, in the midst of your training and preparations, you do check the bag again and find that you've received a response from Murney.
Oh.
I'll just kind of sum up what he says here.
But first, it's time for another royal decree. This one comes to us from Christian Lee, and it's dedicated to Damon Hayes. Happy birthday to the sweetest, kindest, funniest man I know. Kit, Professor, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting all my hopes and dreams and joining me on this adventure in Nevada. I don't know what I would do without you in my life. I love you forever, and I can't wait to be your wife soon. I'm the luckiest person alive, and I'm forever grateful for each and every day with you. Well, thank you, Christian, for sending that message. Thank you, Damon, for being awesome, because it sounds like you are. And from Kit, Professor, and all of us here at the Damage Guild, we wish you the happiest birthday and best for your future, for both of you. So thank you for that again, and happy birthday, Damon.
It's good to hear from you. It's been a long time since you've decided to contact me. I have some additional news, aside from just what you wanted me to learn about Tafe and Nenept. It looks like the cult has recently increased their activities in a smaller, focused area in the desert. It seems that they believe, at least, that they've narrowed down the scepter's location and are focusing all available hands to recover it.
Oh, no.
With regards to your interest in Nenept, it seems that there are rumors in Ormog that indicate the government has begun secretive operations to locate and root out high-level cult members.
Oh.
Their actions are a good thing, but the fact that the rumors have started to spread worries me, since that likely makes their operations significantly less effective and more dangerous. I suspect the cult will be on high alert and may even attempt to move somewhere soon in that region. But for the moment, they're perhaps too focused in the desert to plan anything.
Yeah.
If only we knew the location of the throne, we could hit them hard, their home base, and try to disrupt them while they're focused on finding the scepter, you know? If only we knew.
We have an inkling of where their base is. It's just so far away. It's in the Embrin Caldera, or I forgot what the name of it is. An old volcano.
Yeah, that's a good point. If we're considering getting ready to teleport, have we considered just teleporting to their HQ?
Don't know if there's any locations that are close to it. Are there?
We could check.
You could probably get closer, but I'm doubtful you'd get all the way there.
That's a really good point, Azlo. Their attention is only going to be split for so long, and the fact that they're currently readjusting their strategy from what Ormog is doing, this might be the perfect time to hit their base. Like, there might not be another time for us to attempt to do this.
Guys, does anybody know what the Emperor's throne is made out of? What if we, What if we didn't have to actually destroy the cult? What if we could just destroy the throne somehow?
Well, it's an artifact.
That's what I don't know. I don't know if it's considered like an quote-unquote artifact, like it's a magic item. Like, I don't know if the throne itself was believed to have any powers, or if it would be something that could be destroyed.
We learned about the artifacts. Each of them is an artifact, and each of them does something different. The throne is knowledge, I believe.
So it's crown, scepter, and
throne. Yeah,
I guess. Okay. Yeah, maybe it is.
Well, I mean, I'm not discounting that. Here's another thing to think about. How do you steal a throne?
No, not that we would steal it, that we would
destroy it.
Bring it to ruin.
But we can't even destroy the artifacts that we have, right? The wristband.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I wasn't sure that the throne itself was an artifact in the same way that the crown or the scepter were, but I guess maybe it is. I guess I was incorrect.
Yeah, if we did attack their headquarters and we did manage to find the throne, still alive, what kind of magic or what kind of, like, how would we move it? Am I strong enough to move it? Like, what would we even do if we managed to get alone with the throne?
Yeah, I think if we can't damage the throne, then killing Sharakoth would be the next best thing.
Well, but somebody's in line behind him. He's got lieutenants and captains, I'm sure. Somebody would try to fill that void.
That's what I was just starting to think. Like, even if we cut the head off the snake, another one probably grows in its place, right?
Right.
Something else, Jay, you've brought up before, what if we just made it so they can never get their hands on the crown? Like, what if we did some research and figure out if there's, like, a way to melt or alter or get...
What if we toss it into the fires of Mount Doom? I mean, have we considered that?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know if there is a mountain... I don't know if there's an active volcano that we could get the artifacts into.
Their base is in an inactive volcano.
That's true. We could simply toss it into the fires of the towers of Arcanomica.
Yeah, true. And also to your question earlier, Jay, what is the throne made out of? Elephant tusks.
Yep, definitely.
We've talked about maybe even trying to cast it into an alternative dimension.
Yeah.
If it's made out of elephant tusks, then that makes it the ivory throne.
Yep.
All I'm saying is we don't really know how best to approach. Like, in other words, maybe what we want to do, sure, is clear out the HQ, but we would have to inform somebody. Like, somebody besides us would need to know that we're going to hit their base so that it's not just the three of us trying to manage control of their base as the cult converges back to defend their home place.
Yeah, it's like us and what army, you know?
Well, I think we'd have to secretly let the king know. I think we'd have to let the Sapphire Saber know, and they'd have to help us hold... Like, in other words, if we could hold the throne, we don't have to destroy it, we don't have to do anything with it. If we can just take the throne and hold... This is a big ask, I know, but I'm wondering if that's what we do. While their attention's split, we just try to take... We don't know anything about where the scepter is, right? They've got more intel on where it is in the desert, but we do have an inkling where the throne is.
Of course, with all this, if the plan is to somehow try to destroy the throne or cast it into another dimension, we might as well just do that with the crown, because we already have the crown.
Yeah.
Right.
But if the plan is to disrupt one of the three, then we might as well just do that.
That's fair, but won't they still be a terrible force, even just with scepter plus throne? We need this is like tic-tac-toe, right? It's keep away.
Yeah, but I think that they believe that they need all three.
All three, yeah.
It's the Triforce. They need every piece in order to enact their plan.
Right, and that's fair. Like, maybe Sharakoth will lose power, but like if he's already Mr. Mastermind, won't he just spin it and be like, Let's keep looking for the crown, and we'll be like, no, we destroyed it. He's like, you don't trust these guys; they're liars. Like, in other words, if that's how he's like controlling and leading that group, right? He's not going to let the fact that we destroy or move the crown change plans, and they wouldn't believe us, right?
I mean, I think Sharakoth is kind of like fine with not actually knowing the outcome. I think he's fine with just like having that be the goal because it keeps everybody unified. Like, think about if you're in power and you're not 100% sure that this is you're gonna be able to pull this off when you actually do have everything. Like, he's probably fine with just staying in power and commanding the cult, and even if it takes... Because remember, when they were looking in the desert, they had no idea how long it was going to take for them to find the scepter, right? They were planning for the long term. He was planning for, like, this could take years.
True, but I think it still stands. I think just going off the intel we heard from Murney, it sounds like we could confirm it with some other sources. It sounds like this is a good time to do something regarding the cult. Like, this might be we stop chasing after the thought of Felmandar, which I think we were already okay with, and I'm even willing to forego side quests, guys.
What? Tokas?
Say it
what
isn't
are you talking about?
I think we go for the jugular. I think we try to strike a decisive blow. We join up with like some commandos, right, from our allies. We hit them hard. We hit them where they're not expecting. You know, hopefully the universe isn't listening to this, but I think we make some plans, and I think we try to hit the throne and do something. I mean, like, if we had both the crown and the throne, we'd be wise and... No, not wise. Yes. Charismatic and, like, smart and stuff. Then we could, like, hatch a good plan.
Here's where I think you're totally on the right track, but maybe not exactly. So why go for the throne, ostensibly at their headquarters, when we could go for the scepter? Remember when we were in the cave and there was that group of cultists that we didn't want to fight, so we escaped from them? Why go directly into the headquarters when we could go to a smaller group of cultists who are on an expedition to find this other artifact and strike that expedition and maybe get the scepter before they can bring it back to their base?
We do exactly what they did to us. We wait until they find the scepter, then we attack them, and we take the scepter.
I don't know if I love that, because aren't they just going to poof?
I mean...
some of them can poof, but not all of them.
Not necessarily.
Okay, so you're saying you want to do some ranging.
I'm saying, give me the idol and I'll give you the whip. We do that to them.
I don't hate this plan. So I think in this idea, too, we need to get in touch and not get found out, but get in touch with some of our allies and try to track down this expedition. I still like the throne plan better, but I could be down for this plan.
I think either way, what we sort of already talked about is we need to get home, we need to talk to the king, we need to talk to the Sapphire Sabers, we need to make sure that we're up to date on the most recent information, and that we have, you know, our allies at our backs with whatever we decide to do.
Yeah, I mean, we should be able to get some members of the Saber to come with us this time, I would think. Is there anything else in Murney's message? Was that the end of it?
The last thing he says was, you know, with regards to Tafe, I wasn't able to contact him directly. I don't know him and he doesn't know me, so I don't have any direct means of access to him. It's likely that he's also out of town or on some other mission at the moment.
So then, based on Murney's message, we think that it is King Ormog who is responsible for these actions that are being taken to root out the cult members? Or do we think it's the Saber that's doing it?
It could be either one, because they kind of work together. Like, the Sapphire Saber is it's an extension of the throne, basically, in a lot of ways.
That's awesome. That reminds me of what's going on in El Salvador. You guys hear about that? The president of El Salvador is rooting out members of MS-13. He's he's using the military, and he's captured 65,000 MS-13 members to try and just rip them out of the country completely.
Wow.
Which is a lot easier than rooting out members of the cult, because they're all tattooed, right? Like, they all have markings that signify that they're members of the gang. And so he's just trying to end them once and for all. And so he's got thousands and thousands of these gang members that they're just rounding up and carting off to prison. It's awesome.
Wow.
That is awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
It's insane. Can they hold that many prisoners?
Well, apparently so. He's got the full force of his military backing him. Pretty great.
That's pretty epic. Back to our fantasy world.
Right.
Yeah, why talk about reality? All right, so it sounds like we need to get home. How do we want to do that?
I don't necessarily think we need to teleport, but we probably should, just to be safe, based on what we know now.
It would take you, 3 weeks or so to get back, assuming you take the same route and it takes about the same amount of time? Or it would take you just over 1 week, probably, to make it to the Poenth Bay, where you could get a ship. The ship would probably take about 2 months or so to make it all the way across, but then it would also be half the price of teleporting. And if you're going to be teleporting again afterwards, you might need to save up for that as well.
So it would have to get us back just to the continent of Ilthrod, and then we might still need to teleport from there, is what you're saying, right?
No, I think he's talking about if we decide to teleport to the cult's HQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas taking the ship, it will get us onto the continent, and we'll probably still have to travel some, but I imagine they must have a port in Nenept.
Yeah, Nenept is the port. I think it would be about 2 months to go from Marengar all the way over to Nenept. You could pick a different destination and maybe vary the time a little bit, get to the continent sooner, depending on where you actually want to go.
Well, I know we're all pretty low on funds.
Well, most of us.
Yeah.
Some of us are low on funds.
We just paid a bunch of fines and stuff, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty dang low on funds.
Yeah, I'm all the way down to 140 gold.
Yeah, I'm at 131.
I'm sitting pretty here. 26 plats, 7 gold piece.
So 260? That's not bad. All right, Tokas, I guess you're paying for us.
Wait, what?
So the full price was to teleport here was, 480 gold?
Something like that.
Which is basically all you have and maybe a little bit more.
So I'm going to make a very important nature check right now. Okay, guys?
This is what you do.
All right, and of course I rolled a 1. So never mind. Never mind.
Shabba, when you were born, did you consider being a halfling?
I tried. It didn't work.
Okay, all right. Because that would have come in handy just now. What were you trying to determine?
Whether underwater dragons that sleep underwater have underwater treasure. Because that would be a real good reason to kill the dragon, because we took all the money from the mayor, and she has basically nothing left to give us. The only way to make a quick buck would be if there's a chance that dragon has some treasure down there.
Well, the trolls had some treasure, and they had been accosting various traveling merchants and caravans and whatever. So at the very least, there should be something in there. And all dragons love treasure. Everyone knows that.
Maybe before we leave this huge city, we could talk to somebody who has a book that would tell us whether that could be the case, or whether that's likely to be the case.
Everybody knows that dragons love treasure, just like everybody knows that dwarves don't snuggle. It's just like a fact of our world.
I mean, there are other benefits to slaying a dragon, my amigos.
Yeah, like dragon scale armor, like being able to wear the dragon's head on your head.
Shabba, you're thinking like a Goliath. Listen.
Well, of course, I always think like a Goliath, Tokas. I am one.
Sometimes it's more like what Fizban's Treasury of Dragons says.
Oh, I've read that book. It's a good one. It's my favorite.
Like, if you slay certain age levels or ages of dragons, there's a gift associated with the dying dragon or its soul. Makes me very much think of Skyrim.
Yeah, so it's a Skyrim situation.
But yeah, so there's treasure in that. We can check that off our bucket list. We killed a dragon, and maybe one of us gets to absorb its soul. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, so there's an intangible sort of benefit.
Intangible benefit.
We also save a town. I thought we weren't going to do any more side quests, though, guys. But is this part of the main quest because we need money to teleport?
Exactly. We need quick cash. And there's no such thing as one of those payday lending places around here.
Well, if we're going to fight a poison dragon, we definitely need the antitoxins and everything else.
Mm-hmm. We need to spend all our gold to fight it so that we can maybe get some gold if we kill it.
You got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that it's business basics.
So I was listening to that episode the other day. I'm pretty sure that I made some number of antitoxin.
Yeah, you did, actually.
Yes. Well, do you have it on your character sheet?
Or we bought them or something?
You know the golden rule of D&D, Tokas. If it's not on your character sheet, it doesn't exist.
I'm looking for it. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I have one antitoxin written down. I'm pretty sure we each got one.
I think I made enough antitoxins for everybody but myself, was the thought. Because I have that from the bracer.
I did not add an antitoxin. I have a Molotov cocktail.
It's random.
Do we know that this dragon is poisonous?
Oh, yeah, it's a poison dragon.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Why do we think it was a poison dragon?
Because of some nature check that one of us made, I think.
Okay, we made a really good nature check, and we're pretty sure it's a silver dragon or whatever dragon type is
because
poison.
of the acrid sort of feel of the air when I was breathing it in when I was down there.
Yeah.
I think this is, if we're going to engage the dragon, we need these antitoxins. So I'll go ahead and pay the 50 gold, and I'll take the time to, hit up the local alchemy shop or whatever, if I need materials. And, I'll make a dosage for you and Stripey so that we can all have that resistance. The antitoxin is resistance, correct? Which is different from Tokas' item. I have actual immunity. I think that's why I didn't make myself a dosage, because the bracer is stronger than the antitoxin.
Yeah, the creature gains advantage on saving throws against poison for 1 hour.
Yeah, and then the bracer says you have immunity to poison and diseases. So
okay, so you're making, to be clear, you're making 1 antitoxin or 2?
I should make 2. Don't we want Stripes to be? Stripes is a big part of your character.
Yeah, I say go for it. Make 2.
Do you want me to pay for 1, Tokas?
I mean, that's very kind, but don't you not have money?
I mean, I have money, just not very much. I have enough to pay for an antitoxin, though.
Shabba, I'm gonna make a couple antitoxins, and I'm gonna give them to you.
Well, thanks, Tokas. That's generous of you. Hopefully we do need them, and by the time we get back, the king hasn't already dispatched with the dragon.
That's true.
Right.
Guess we'll find out.
The part of the reason Shabba is so poor is because he did donate 200 gold worth of platinums to the town. So.
Yeah, right. Livestock.
And I'm not wrong about the pricing for antitox. It's 25 gold per dose.
It's 50 per dose.
Oh, they're 50 per dose.
50, but
If you're making them, then it's half.
Oh, okay.
But Tokas can make it for half. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty.
Okay, nice. Sweet. Alright, I have 2 antitoxin down on my character sheet now.
And I spend the equivalent of 5 plats.
So then we're going back that direction and potentially fighting a dragon?
We need money. We can't, we can take a ship if you want.
We leveled up. We didn't want to fight it last time at level 7. Level 8, it's time, Azlo. It's time to become Aslodius the Great. You've only been that in name, but when people hear that you're the bard that slayed the poison dragon under the bard town, the halfling town, you can put that into your song, man.
That's true. That's true. You make a good point.
Righter of wrongs, slayer of dragons, wielder of Kingslayer.
Yep.
And then Shabba can add it to his monologue.
When Shabba the Tall placed the dragon's head on his own head.
and I don't need anything added to my name. I just want to absorb the dragon's soul. That's all that I want.
When Tokas the Brave absorbed the dragon's soul into his dark soul.
And then it was a dark dragon soul.
Part gnome, part dark, part dragon.
That's actually one of the effects in Fizbins is you can just turn into a dragonborn. I don't want that one because I have some gnome-specific benefits. So as long as it's not that one, I'll absorb the soul.
All right.
Maybe Stripey should do it because, if it's something bad, just summon a new Stripey.
Dude, how awesome would that be? A dragonborn badger? Gnarly, bro.
Yeah, Stripey, all of a sudden is, sentient.
If dragon turtles, he would just be a dragon badger.
That's right. He just sprouts wings and just starts flying around.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just so you know, Thane, it's page 28 through 29.
In case you want to look it up.
In case you want to check it out. Some of them are really benign. One of them is you gain dark sight.
Your eyes change shape.
Yeah,
your pupils to look like a dragon.
Yeah.
Your eyes move to the sides of your head.
You grow a snout. And whenever you breathe out through your nose, smoke comes out.
If you kill an ancient dragon and absorb their soul, there's potentially a very strong draconic gift. I don't know if this is an ancient dragon. This might just be an adult dragon we're fighting.
Well, in any case, the primary goal is money. The secondary goal is...
As always.
Maybe there's an ancillary benefit, something weird happens to one of us and we become more dragon-like. But
just remember, the second we kill it, we have to jump in, try to, suck in its soul, bathe in its blood, make sure that if there is a gift that it's left us, that we don't let it go to waste.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely.
So taking the ship would take a couple of months to travel. It would only take us a week to get to the bay. but then a couple of months to travel between continents.
Yes, so our choices are take the ship or kill the dragon for the cash to teleport.
Or, we kill the dragon, we get the cash, we teleport, and it takes us a few weeks to walk, to travel to the capital, but then we teleport instantly.
Right.
So...
Yep. So it's basically either 3 weeks or 2 months and 1 week.
And just to make sure, how much gold exactly do we have?
Not much.
Somewhere around 450.
Okay. Because I do still have 3 plats left over as well.
So you have 140 gold plus the 3 plats, or the 3 plats are included in your 140?
140 plus 3, so 170.
170. I have 131. And Tokas has whatever he had minus 50.
Well, that's assuming he makes the antitoxins, which he would only do if we go to fight the dragon.
Right, but is that math going to check out? Do we know if the reward for killing the dragon is actually worth us making the toxins?
Yeah, we have no idea if there even is. There's definitely not a mayoral reward because the mayor already gave us all the money she could. The only possible reward is if the dragon has enough treasure to offset our costs of fighting it plus enough to teleport back.
But given the reputations that dragons have, you would suspect it probably has a lot of treasure.
Yeah.
Well, we've let that situation stew long enough for communication potentially to have happened between the mayor and the king.
Yeah.
If we were to be the helpful heroes, finally, that kill that dragon, finally, there might be some sort of reward, not from them, not from her town, but from the king of her region.
There might be rewards all around. If they've contacted the king and he's been unresponsive, then, I mean, we're consultants, man. This is what we do.
Right. So, do we think it'll be possible for me to make the antitoxins once we make it back to that town? I was able to make the first dosage in that town.
There's no problem with you making them.
Okay, let's hold off and then consider making those doses on site.
Exactly.
Right.
We travel back to the town. If the dragon hasn't been dealt with, you make the antitoxins, we fight it, and we go on our merry way.
Hopefully.
Hypothetically.
It's not a guarantee that we'll beat the dragon just because we coated the whole party in poison resistance and immunity, but it betters our chances.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do that.
I mean, if ever there was a need for an innovative solution, this would be it.
This is it.
My problem is not the poison with that fight. My problem is that it could turn into some sort of water fight. That's the issue with that fight.
That's a tricky thing. We have to lure it out of the water. That's a non-negotiable.
Well, we do have water stuff, remember?
We have a ring of water walking.
And Murney sent you a water-breathing potion, Azlo.
Right, we've got a water-breathing potion.
Somebody has that written down, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But who would drink the potion? Would it be Azlo? Because I have the ring of water walking. Would you have the ring of water walking so you could stay above? I mean, you can't shoot arrows into the water very effectively.
Right. But we can't fight the dragon unless it's at least near the surface. Anyway, we can get into the nitty-gritty of the combat when we get there and figure out what the situation is. Let's get there first, and then we'll talk about all
You
of
could
this.
maybe shoot lightning arrows, because it acts more like a bolt of lightning than an arrow, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go to Solchea.
So we travel.
We fast travel to Solchea immediately.